Ever waited in a long line and felt your heart pounding while the seconds seemed to stretch into eternity? What about that time when you sat in traffic, drumming your fingers on the wheel as if the rhythm could somehow speed up the crawl of cars ahead? If these scenarios sound familiar, then you've experienced the phenomena known as impatience. Impatience, that gnawing feeling of not being able to wait, is a common human experience. But why do we feel it? What goes on in our minds and bodies that make us so uncomfortable with waiting? To understand impatience, we must dive into the realm of psychology, the science of the mind and behavior. In its simplest form, impatience is a response to frustration or dissatisfaction. It's a signal that our expectations aren't being met. When we anticipate a certain outcome and it doesn't materialize within our expected time frame, a conflict arises in our minds. This conflict triggers a stress response, leading to feelings of impatience. Now let's delve a bit deeper. Impatience can be seen as a struggle between two parts of our minds: the prefrontal cortex, our rational, planning self, and the amygdala, our emotional, reactive self. The prefrontal cortex understands that waiting is sometimes necessary, but the amygdala wants immediate gratification. When the amygdala wins this internal tug of war, we feel impatient. Impatience can also be linked to our perception of time. Studies have found that when we're bored or unoccupied, time seems to slow down, making waits feel longer and exacerbating our impatience. On the other hand, when we're engaged or excited, time seems to fly, and we're less likely to feel impatient. Furthermore, our modern world, with its instant gratification culture, fuels impatience. We're used to having information, entertainment, and services at our fingertips, which can make waiting feel even more frustrating. Let's now explore how different personality types deal with impatience. Type A personalities, characterized by their competitiveness, time urgency, and high-achieving nature, often struggle with impatience. They constantly race against the clock, and any delay is perceived as a major setback. On the other hand, Type B personalities, who are more relaxed, easygoing, and less stressed by the constraints of time, are generally more patient. They're better at taking things in stride, and less likely to get frustrated when things don't go according to plan. Understanding your personality type can help you manage impatience more effectively. It's about knowing your triggers and developing coping strategies. So, whether you're a Type A or a Type B, remember that understanding is the first step to patience. Now that we understand impatience and the factors that could trigger it, let's turn our attention to ways we can manage this feeling. Firstly, practicing mindfulness and meditation can help keep us grounded in the present moment. This reduces the focus on the future, the waiting, and the stress associated with it. Secondly, engaging in physical activity can also be beneficial. Exercise releases endorphins, which improve mood and reduce stress, making you more patient and tolerant of delays. Thirdly, cognitive restructuring techniques can be applied to change impatient thoughts. This involves identifying and challenging our impatient thoughts and replacing them with more rational, patient ones. For instance, instead of thinking, "this is taking forever," we could think, "this is taking longer than expected, but it's okay. I can use this time productively." Lastly, developing a routine that includes regular breaks can prevent burnout, which often leads to impatience. It's essential to take time for relaxation and rejuvenation. Remember, patience is not an inherent trait, but a skill that can be developed with practice and time. So, don't be too hard on yourself if you struggle with impatience. With these strategies, you can start working towards becoming a more patient person. So we've reached the end of our exploration into impatience. What significant insights have we gained? We've uncovered that impatience stems from unfulfilled expectations and internal conflicts between our logical and emotional sides. Additionally, we found that the way we perceive time in today's world of immediate satisfaction can amplify impatience. Understanding these causes won't necessarily make waiting any more enjoyable. It does provide us with the tools to cope with it effectively. By identifying the cues that kindle our impatience, we can aim to be more patient and lessen the tension that comes with waiting. We appreciate you taking the time to delve into the psychology of impatience with us. If this enlightening journey has piqued your interest for more intriguing aspects of human behavior, we invite you to subscribe to our channel. Until our next meeting, remember, patience is not merely the capacity to wait, but also how we conduct ourselves during the wait.